Hey, welcome everybody. I'm John Stone, and you've reached Rolling with Stone. We've got the Brews and Reviews, and tonight's brew. We've got what do we got? Actually, I brought the whole box here. The box is Squatters Craft Beer. It is the Texas Twist Hop Rising Texas Twist Double IPA. 6 cans. I bought 6 cans of this wonderful brew. Apparently, you can only buy it here in Texas. That's why I thought, let me give it a try. Only buy it here in Texas. So it is a 9.1% alcohol by volume. Swatters brewed responsibly since 1989. Reading the blurb on the back. Can we pick that up? There we go. Straight out of Austin, fresh brewed using local malt. Our double IPA is bigger than Texas, 9.1% ABV. Hop-derived grape, lime, citrus characteristics balance a malty backbone in a Texas twist. That's sure enough. You can only get it in the Lone Star State. Squatters Brewery, Squatters Craft Beers, they come from, which was kind of confusing. They come from Salt Lake City. I don't know whether you can see that. Salt Lake City, Utah. But it's the Texas twist. So who knows? I'm like, I said brewed in Austin. But if they're in Salt Lake City, that's kind of a... Anyway, whatever it is, we're going to give it a go. Comes in a can. There's the can. There's the man on the front with the hops. Anyway, we got the glass here. So do be honest. Woohoo! There we go. The can is cracked. We're pouring the beer into the glass. It's always best to enjoy your beer out of a glass. But if you're struggling, you don't have a glass. It's even got a little Texas hop on the side. Anyway. Look at it's actually a little hazy. You can see that, a little hazy, nice amber color, a little goldenness to it, and that nice head. It doesn't. Some of these IPAs can look a little light, and that this one looks dark. Looks like it might have a bit of body to it, a bit of taste. Double IPA, so yeah, double punch. Oh, pow! Right, let's give it. Smells pretty good. It doesn't smell overly hoppy. It smells like it does have they said it had a good balance with the malt. Maybe it does. That's not a bad drop. I wouldn't say that it's completely balanced. I would say the malt or the hops, it's hop driven, and that you can tell that it has aftertaste. It does have a malty aftertaste, a slight caramel, malty aftertaste, but it is IPA, so it is going to be hop driven. Not a bad one for wetting your whistle on a evening in the fabulous Stone Cave here. So I got 6 of these to get through. So actually, I'm surprised. I bought it because actually it was a local brew. I was actually in Whole Foods. I go Whole Foods to buy beans, little cans of beans. The kids out there, that's local. So this was local. They had it on sale. Had I think it was $1 off, a couple of bucks off. I'm like, hey, let me try that and see how it goes. Anyway, I'm glad I picked up 6, and that probably won't go straight. But I like an IPA. I like that hop flavor, but I don't like too much. And this is enough, and it's bordering almost too much. But especially for a wintertime beer, for summertime, this would be a great beer. A hot day by the pool, the kids are screaming, you need a couple of these. Yeah, this is probably the way to go. Winter, it's probably not the time for this, but it's still not so hop driven that you couldn't enjoy a nice one in the winter. Enjoying one right here in the Stone Cave right now. So there we go. The Squatters Texas Twist Double IPA. That's the brew. Now let's get on to the review. We've got the Stacyc. Now it is coming up to Christmas. Christmas is a few weeks away. So we're going to do a review on a Stacyc. Now, I've had the Stacyc for a couple of years now. It is the 16 ED drive. We have the Savvy Grip sticker on there. We have the Savvy Grip on the lever. And that Savvy Grip, you can go to thesavvyproducts.com and grab yourself a Savvy Grip to get a little extra grip on the brake lever there. Especially, and it helps in cold weather. It puts a thermal barrier between the metal lever and your fingers, so your fingers aren't getting as cold, aren't bleeding out the heat from your fingers. Anyway, so we have the Savvy Grip on this thing. We have the Stacyc, and that I like to mountain bike, so I'm like trying to encourage my children to ride and be a bit more outdoorsy. They tend to just like to sit inside, and if they could sit inside and watch TV all day, they'd be happy doing that, or playing on the iPad, or and that's not just my kids, but most kids these days seem to be attached to a phone, an iPad, some kind of screen right in front of them. So I'm like, you know what? I got to get these kids out of in front of a screen. And although ironically you'd be watching this on YouTube, so you will be watching it on a screen. Hopefully you've enjoyed something during the day, and this is a deal of the night where you can just, or maybe it's first thing in the morning, you haven't watched this while you're drinking a coffee. Anyway, we're going to review the Stacyc, and that my kids haven't, they're not like heavy beaters, and just, it hasn't been given a horrible workout, but we have had a great idea for young kids, to get kids that step from trying to, you have the little balance bike, that their little Strider deal that they do. This is basically has an electric motor. It's an electric motorized version of the Strider. So they can get going a bit faster. Plus, they get used to using the throttle, and they get used to using the brake, which you don't have on the Strider. So they get used to using a couple other things, and that my eldest daughter, who was riding this the most when we first got it, she's transitioned now onto a regular bicycle, and she rides a regular bicycle. She doesn't ride this too much anymore because she's got a little bit too big for this. And that's my younger daughter who's riding this now. We did do a couple of modifications to it. We put the peg extenders on, and that they sell these little peg extenders, and that, for my mind, they don't extend the pegs far enough, and it's still a bit of a platform. Nicer if it was more like a foot peg or something, or it went out a little further, so the kids could get a better purchase on the thing on themselves. And that, so it would encourage them to stand up a bit more, and that have something nice and sturdy for their feet to go on. And that the stock ones, it's plastic and they're pretty skinny. So the alternative ones are a little wider, but they're not. I was thinking it'd be a lot wider, but they're not as wide as what I thought. Now the Stacyc has electric motor, so the gas tank for your electric motor is this battery, wonderful battery. Now, so I think it's a wonderful concept, great idea, and get kids outside at any cost. So, and there's nothing really competing with it in this segment of the marketplace. So they've done a fabulous job. They've got a 12-inch one, which refers to the wheel size, 16-inch wheels. And that's so they have one that's a little smaller, even if you have like a really small kid. So that's all the great things about it. I love that there's something that gets them going, and that they can transition to a bicycle, and then if they want to, you can hopefully transition to a motorcycle or something more outdoor. Anyway, so this is your gas tank, and that for the Stacyc. A couple of the problems with the Stacyc is that they've made the battery, the hook up area, some proprietary deal, so you can't just go and buy a Makita battery for these things. So you got to go buy a genuine Stacyc battery for this thing. The whole bike is, I think, they were $750 for the 16. They're now, I think, $850. They went up $100 or something for that just recently. So the whole bike is $850. This battery is about $170, $180 for the battery, just the battery. Luckily, they give you a battery when you buy the bike, and they give you a charger when you buy the bike. So you get the battery, you get the charger, and you get the bike, about $850, right? So the problem is, and then the battery, battery charging, everyone knows how that works. That clicks in there. Don't sit there, go away and let it cook, because you will cook your battery, and you'll be up for $100 and whatever it is dollars for a new battery. The other thing is, and it says it's an 18-volt battery. Anyway, these batteries don't have the longest life on them, and that's so if your kid gets after it and you have it in mode, and it has 3 modes. It has mode 1 is really slow, just to get them learning. Mode 2 is the next step up, and then mode 3 is the super speedy mode. Now, if your kid will spend 5 minutes in mode 1, get used to it. Then you'll be in mode 2 for a bit longer, and then mode 3 is the one that you're going to that'll stay in most of the time. And you adjust it it has a manual. You can go on the web, and it tells you turn it off, you turn the throttle on, and then turn it back on, and you can reset the modes. The problem is this battery doesn't last very long. So if your kid gets after it, really is riding it a lot, and that it may last a half hour, ish. So unfortunately, I wish it would come with a spare battery, because that's kind of what it needs. And if it come with a spare battery, you're going to be buying a spare battery, because there's nothing worse than some kid that just loved riding it and the battery ran out, because you need probably an hour or 2 to charge the thing back up again and get it going. So the idea, buy yourself a spare battery, and then and the other thing is, don't let it sit. I don't know whether. Now, I had a battery go bad. Now, Stacyc didn't warranty it or anything. So I had a battery go bad. Now, my kids, we sat over, we're in Texas, it gets cold. My daughters don't like to go outside when it's cold. So it sat for a couple of months. And then when we came to use it, the battery didn't want to do its thing. Anyway, so keep your eye on the battery all the time. And be careful that it is like a living thing. So if you're not using it for an extended period of time, probably take it away from the bike, and every once in a while top the charge back up in the battery, keep it in good shape. Anyway, so that's one issue. I have had. Oops, I can go grab it. Now, the other issue I did have with this Stacyc is that I had a rim. And my kids do not ride it hard, and they do not jump anything, right? And in fact, I got to get them to get the butt off the seat. And that I had this rim break, and I pumped it. It says you can pump up the tube to 35 psi. So I pumped it up to 35 psi. This is in the middle of summer. We put the thing in the back of the car we're going to drive to a park and go ride around in the park a bit. So I give it a good run out there. And so we put it in the car, we got to the park, we did a couple other things, about 5 to 10 minutes, and that came back to the car, and the thing as I was walking back to the car, I heard this boom. It's like, come on, what the heck just went on? I got back, and this thing the tube had exploded, and then this rim has broken completely off. So I had to buy a new rim, and that's not really repairable. It's like some plastic rim. So I've had to buy a new battery. I've had to buy a new rim, new tube, and apart from that, it's been fairly. And I bought the things to extend the pegs. And now I don't have an extra battery, And that's, I'm not going to spend $160, $180 on an extra battery. I think that's ridiculous. For that, I am going to probably try and look at maybe some converter that I can convert this to that, and make so I can put like a Makita battery in there, maybe even a 24-volt battery or something. I did pull the battery that did go bad. That Stacyc didn't warranty. I had it around here, and that but I pulled it apart. So I'm going to look at how the connector fits, and then, but I gotta, it can't put too much in between here and there, but try and make some intermediary connector that could connect to the Stacyc engine and connect any kind of battery to it. So I could go to Home Depot, buy a regular battery, and connect it to the thing. So that would be optimal. That'd be ideal. I wish they would do that, because that would make the bike just so much more appealing. The other limiting factor is this seat post is really short. So that's as tall as it can go. So once your kids get a little bit taller, they're going to look like gorillas on it. And my daughter really wanted the seat to go up a bit higher, but they don't make a longer seat post. That's as high as it goes. And the same thing, it'd be nice if the handlebars did go up maybe a little bit too, or they had some riser handlebars, something. Anyway, so overall, it's a great piece of equipment. Anything that gets kids outside and gets them to start riding, learning balance, learning how to use their brakes, learning how controlling direction and everything else, getting the coordination and all of those things, balance, coordination, eye-hand movements sorted out, is a benefit. The great thing about it is it's electric, so you can ride it in your neighborhood endlessly and not have anyone complain. You can take it to your local. We go down to the local park where they have the football grounds, baseball grounds, and when they're not playing football or baseball there, the kids can happily ride that thing around everywhere, no problems. And that everyone. So now the oldest daughter's got her mountain bike. We can hit the bicycle trails. We take this thing with us. And that we took this out mountain biking the other day, and you just have to be careful that the trail is short enough that you're not going to run out of battery, or make sure you have an extra battery and pack it in your backpack, because the last thing you want to do is be carrying this thing and an angry child back to the car, and that after you run out of battery. So yeah, but it's great. I actually got a flat tire on this now. I got to figure out what that is. I had a couple of flat tires, but overall, it's been a good thing. I don't know how well it holds up. If someone beats the hell out of it, I don't have a boy, so I got girls. They're really, really easy on the stuff. So maybe if you could subscribe, if you can leave a comment. People that have boys that have probably jumped them and beat the heck out of them, they can leave a comment on the longevity of stuff there, but everything seems fairly well made. You can get replacement bits for everything. So if they burn up a motor or whatever, you can get a replacement motor, and that. So looks like a good thing. Stacyc is on a winner. The guy that made it, the original Stacyc guy, he made out like a bandit because he sold it to Harley Davidson and put a bunch of money in his pocket. So it's a great idea for him. He's done fabulously well. And it is one of those little things in the marketplace that's being desperately needed. An entry-level bicycle, motorcycle that people can get into and they can ride every day around their neighborhood and not have any complaints. Because we have a TTR 50, and that everyone in my street is cool with that, and we just ride it up and down the street, because the kids like to take that for a bit of a spin every once in a while. And that's only a once in a while thing, but this is a daily thing, and it pisses nobody off. So that is the winner. I mean, people poo-poo electric, but I'm kind of for it, because no one complains. There's no noise. People just see smiling kids running around having a good time. So possibly this is the future, right? So anyway, hey, Merry Christmas, and that hopefully Santa is good to everybody. Everyone's been good, and that the double IPA, the Texas Twist, is being good to me. So enjoy one of those, or enjoy a nice Christmas beer. I tried one of those Christmas beers, and they were very tasty as well. And that check out the other videos, and we will see you. Yeah, well, Merry Christmas, and I'm John Stone, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Cheers.